Welcome to On the Move, where we take you behind the scenes with some of Forsyth County's larger construction projects. Today we're at Bennett Park here in the northeast part of the county, just off Burris Mill Road. And this park has faithfully served families for over 4 decades. And now in its 46th year of operation, it needs some renovations. And that's exactly what these gentlemen are here to tell us about. I'm joined with John Jefferson with Capital Projects, Kirk Franz with Parks and Rec, and I'm Amanda with the communications team. So let's start with John. What's the status of kicking off some renovations here?
So the board recently awarded the construction contract. Our procurement department will get bonds and insurance from the contractor, and then we'll establish a pre-construction conference and then issue the contractor notice to proceed.
Okay, that sounds exciting. So what are we going to be looking forward to happening here? Maybe both of you want to chime in on that.
Okay, I'll start out with infrastructure.
Okay.
The current park configuration has 4 separate entrances, and there's not a way to get from parking lot to parking lot internally. So the new design is going to add right and left-hand turn lanes on Burris Mill Road, and then so that'll make ingress and egress into the park easier. And then the parking lots will be connected in the final configuration, so you can move from one side of the park to the other internal without having to go back out onto Burris Mill Road.
That sounds like a safer way to get around.
Yes.
So, Kirk, tell us about amenities, that sort of thing.
You bet. So we're really excited about what's happening here at Bennett Park. A few things that you're going to notice when you come in. John touched on the parking. We'll have more parking, so that's going to be awesome for parents that are coming and going. We're going to have a community building that'll be right around about right here. And that community building will be open for meetings, parties, that can be for rent. And then it'll also help us out when we're having elections as an election voting site. We have 1 turf field here at the park, but after renovations, we're gonna have 2. And then we'll have some additional, all the buildings that are here are gonna be brand new. We'll have some additional basketball courts, batting cages, and I think it'll just look like a whole new park.
That's awesome. So what are we thinking time frame? How long is this expected to take to be completed?
We should see construction begin early summer time frame, June, July-ish. The construction contract duration is 500 days. That's about 17 months. There's some provisions for time extensions, weather days. There are weather days built into the contract, but sometimes we get into some more inclement weather. So we could be looking at maybe 18 to 20 months outside for the entire renovation to be completed.
Okay, and so my understanding is to make the renovation go as fast as possible, we're going to close this park during that process. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so I know Kirk's team has a great plan for all the Bennett Park teams who practice and play here. So what is happening for those teams?
You bet. So we've anticipated this move or this change already. So we've already started to move some of our Bennett Park teams up to Nearland Park, which is just a few miles away. And actually this last July, we opened up phase 2 that included several baseball fields. And there's already some turf fields there. So it's an easy transition to move some of the teams here to there while this park's being renovated. And then once it's back up, we'll have 2 great parks that are basically almost brand new and to serve the community up here.
All right, well, let's wrap up talking about funding sources. John, I'll go to you on this one. How is the county planning to pay for this renovation?
This particular renovation has multiple funding sources. There are some impact fees that are going to fund a portion of the construction. The county applied for and was awarded a $2.2 million grant, and then the balance of the funding is going to come from SPLOST 8 collections.
Okay, so SPLOST 8, SPLOST, for our viewers who are less familiar with it, stands for Special Purpose Local Option Sales Tax. And it's been around since 1987, I understand, and will be on the ballot this coming November for possible extension. So tell us, how does SPLOST work?
Sure, in this case, it's a penny sales tax on purchases made within the county. There have been a lot of studies done on SPLOST collections, and they generally agree that about 1/3 of the SPLOST collections come from folks that live outside the county who are traveling through and either work here or whatever, making purchases. So it spreads the tax collection across everyone who makes purchases within the county, and helps the commissioners keep the millage rate down and then not have to increase the tax burden on property owners.
All right. Well, I think that covers it. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you guys for joining me. Check us out at forsythco.com and on our social media channels to keep in touch with what's happening here in our county.